Imagine you're an 11.
An 11-year-old girl right here.
Right here, right now.
Imagine the life you might live.
I'm 11 and I'm a girl.
I'm 11, I'm a girl.
I'm an 11-year-old girl.
I'm 11 and I'm a girl.
Here we are,
11-year-old.
Girls.
Outstanding in our field.
We can stop time.
See? Now imagine.
the women we each might become.
Are you ready to take
The journey of a lifetime.
discover our future?
By journeying to the past.
And becoming
Heroic girls.
11 is a great number.
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 First, we have to start where we're at.
Yes, we're girls. We're 11.
So you gotta ask, who are we?
Right now, being me is like riding bareback on my precious horse.
In my dreams, he can fly.
I have many different moods. One is jumpy and jittery, like I have 100 little bubbles in my stomach.
Some days I'm really spriggy and loud.
But sometimes
I feel like my unhappiness is my fault, so I don't say anything.
And sometimes I am very pesty.
Being 11 is like
The sound of wings is music to me. In dreams I fly, what can I be?
Girl, I can fly so high like a deer with wings of a butterfly.
I run like a cat, barely touch the ground. I'm a waterfall.
I'm a crashing sound.
Sometimes I'm mad.
I almost explode.
I'm sure of myself, right?
I don't know.
11 is number 1.
I like to be neat, hate cleaning my room.
That I sleep in the house.
I want to fly on my broom. 11 is number 1.
I like
Dogs and horses, and then there are boys.
Not supposed to be like them, but
wanna make noise.
11
11's a great number.
is number 1.
a great number.
11 is number 1.
twice. We're also wondering,
What will we become?
We have to journey back to find that out.
To the afterlife, where 4 heroic women are just about to meet. Ladies' schools are stuffy.
I don't like being proper one bit.
my father is a judge, and he says I know more about the law than his clerks.
It's like you're flying in the blue, blue sky.
My name is Elizabeth Cady Stanton.
My name is Louisa May Alcott.
My name is Amelia Jenks Bloomer.
My name is Amelia Earhart.
Amelia Bloomer! Amelia Earhart!
Elizabeth Cady Stanton.
Louisa May Alcott! How are you? Greetings, sister. Howdy!
Wow.
How are you?
Wonderful. It's so nice to be here with you all again.
Indeed. It's so comforting here.
And we can confide in one another. 4 little women.
Ha! Good one, Louisa. Hey, this is kind of like a ladies' room with a plush sitting area.
You're so silly, Amelia. This is the afterlife, not a restroom.
Yes, but we can rest here and talk.
You always did like to talk, Lizzie.
My quick tongue always got me into trouble.
Louisa and Lizzie never had an unexpressed thought.
I did love words.
And I loved action. Flying, of course. And wearing pants, like Amelia Bloomer.
And writing. First woman's owned and composed newspaper was mine. The lily was my way of speaking.
Speaking out is a vitally important action. Seems to me women suffer from oppression, but I talk as I please. All I know is that one truth is self-evident, that all men and women are created equal.
We were all heroic girls and women.
We were awesome.
Girls today should look at us and try to live their lives as we did.
Maybe that's why we're meeting here again in the afterlife.
So we can teach each other things that we picked up watching today's Girls.
Yes, definitely.
What was that song you told us about last time, Amelia?
Shall we do I'm a Girl?
That's the one.
I'm a girl, yeah, yeah. I'm far out, oh yeah,
11. My cap. My journal, the one I kept when I was 11.
My locket! Maybe we're to relive what it meant to be 11.
11 was a wild, hysterical, wonderful, confusing, purple time for me.
For us all.
Shall I go first?
Always ready to take the plunge, Lizzie.
Here I go. I'm called Lizzie, and it's 1825. I hate the color red, and I always have to wear it. My mother says it's improper for me to scratch underneath my collar. Ugh! My brother Eliezer just graduated from Union College. And then he died. My father's devastated. I have to try to be as brave and as smart as Eliezer, the apple of my father's eye. Here I am in my father's law chambers. He's a judge. Father, a lady just came in for advice. Her husband died, and her son inherited everything. He threw her in the streets.
I can't do anything about this, Lizzie. It's the law.
But here I am with my scissors, Father, to cut out the immoral laws in your law book.
Which laws are immoral, Lizzie?
The one that keeps women from owning or inheriting anything. The one that says a woman has to give up her children to her husband when he divorces her.
But Lizzie...
The one that says a woman has to give her wages to her husband or her father. The one that says a woman can't vote. The one that says...
Hold on! Cutting these out of the book won't make them go away. Our legislature must be persuaded if these laws are to be changed.
One day, I'll go to Union College, just like Eliezer, Father. I'll study the law.
Oh, daughter, I wish you had been born a boy.
Why couldn't he see how good it was for me to be born a girl? My father did allow me to attend an all-boys class, where I won the prize in Greek. Of course, I didn't go to Union College. No girls allowed. So I went to an all-girls school.
And then you met the fiery abolitionist Henry Stanton. But when you married, you did not promise to obey. Neither did I.
I avoided marriage, afraid it was a jail cell, that it would make me into a sack of potatoes.
I didn't want to be a piece of furniture, though. So I became Elizabeth Cady Stanton.
Imagine you a piece of furniture. Now, it seemed to me the only way to avoid that was to avoid marriage.
Perhaps you were wisest, Louisa. You were not destined to be a sack of potatoes.
Well, I'm very glad I married. And if anyone was a sack of potatoes, it was my husband. He told me not to start the Lily because no woman had ever done it before. But I did love Dexter, and he did believe in me and my sentiments. He liked me in bloomers.
And what's the locket about, Amelia? Let's see how you found it.
Oh. I'm 11, and it's 1832. I live in Manhattan, in a townhouse, with my father, a clothier, my mother, a devout churchgoer, and my 6 brothers and sisters. I'm the youngest. I like to sit by the window with my older brother Percy and watch people walk down the street. Look at that ginger cat down there, Percy.
Yeah, Keen.
Look at him dodge among the carts. Cats go wherever they want, and no one can catch them. If I were an animal, I'd be a cat. They barely touch the ground.
Yeah. I'd be a pig, maybe. Get fed, get to sleep all day. Amelia, look!
her dress got caught under the cart. She was pulled beneath the wheel. Is she okay?
I think she's crushed. I'm gonna tell Dad.
The dresses, they're heavy. Ladies' undergarments and dresses weigh about 15 pounds. You cannot move in them. They're a death trap, death trap, death trap. I must write this down. A secret of mine is this compartment in the wall of my bedroom. It holds a quill pen and some papers. I write my thoughts and feelings and tell no one about this. Also inside, I hide my very special thing, a locket my great-grandmother had. I've never been able to open it, so it keeps its own secrets. I think inside is a treasure. Perhaps what I will one day become, a writer. A final edit before I go to press with my newspaper, The Lily. There is to be a convention of editors and publishers at Rochester. Wonder if they'll admit women. We must ascertain before we go. Reply from Editor Man. Our editorial sister Bloomer shall be most welcome to seat in the convention. Thank you, Brother Man. But what's this? Editor Atwell writes, no one could object to seat by the side of Sister Bloomer. Yet at the outset, you should protest against Sister Anybody speaking and meeting. Just as we expected, here is war declared at the outset. Atwell deserves to have his ears pinched. Although we should enjoy the fun mightily, we think we will not attend the convention, for we have too much respect for ourselves to take a seat by the side of such an ungentlemanly, little-souled man.
Determined to free women of their heavy skirts and petticoats, Amelia Bloomer started to wear short skirts and bloomers.
Bloomers were also called trousers, and thank goodness for them. Imagine having to pilot a plane in a corset and a 15-pound dress.
Bloomers were like underwear. Of course, we didn't call them underwear. Instead, we said inexpressibles.
Oh boy! The laws treated women as half-witted children, unable to make their own decisions. I remember when I truly realized it didn't have to be that way. It was when you spoke, Lizzie, at the Seneca Falls Women's Rights Convention in 1848, and then when I introduced you to Susan B. Anthony.
Walking home from an anti-slavery meeting in Seneca Falls, I happened upon you and Miss Anthony. Thank you, Amelia. Miss Anthony and I made things happen together that we couldn't have apart. But she had different priorities than I did. She wanted me to travel, but I couldn't until my children were grown. I told her, you can't have it all at once, Susan.
And now, Louisa, tell us about you at 11.
I'm 11, I'm a girl, and I'm the middle of 3 sisters. We don't go to school. Father says lady schools tend to produce, well, ladies. I tend to agree with Father on this.
My family, my father Amos Bronson, May my mother, and my 2 sisters, Anna and Emily, have all moved to Fruitlands outside of Concord. We're supposed to form a thing called the consociate family. We are transcendentalists. We've moved often because Father teaches from his heart. He and my mother believe that all people possess a unique soul that can be touched through education. Some people think this is crazy, and he gets fired a lot.
My favorite thing to do is sit in my tree. It's really big and it's very easy to climb, even wearing a dress.
Anna and I run around all day with the gang. It's mostly boys, so Emily's scared of them. But Anna and I think they're fun. It's great. Father says I look very pretty when I run. I don't wear my hair up like most girls, so if someone gets too close in a race, I just shake my head and they get a face full of hair.
Go, Lisa! Yes!
When I'm running, I don't feel awkward. It's one of the few times my overlong arms and legs work well.
I'm in the garret with my papers around me and a pile of apples to eat, as I write stories in my imagination book and enjoy the patter of rain on the roof in peace and quiet. This morning, I wrote in a journal. I had an early run in the woods today before the dew was off the grass. The moss was like velvet, and as I ran under the arches of red and yellow leaves, I sang for joy. My heart was so bright and the world so beautiful. I ran and played, and I was a horse. A sign on my door reads, "True genius is infinite patience."
Must go with the leader who consociates society, dearest.
But outside the door, my parents are fighting.
He claims that the only way is to cut ties with family.
Oh, Bronson, look into your heart and you'll know that is not true. You'd leave your family to follow your heart?
He says,
Your heart is here. Your heart is me, Anna, and Emily, and it is certainly Louisa.
There's a weight on my shoulders. I reach for an idea, writing down what I see, writing what I hear. I fly free from the world, everything changing, growing. Everyone has their time to fly. Very soon mine will come. I'm like a star or the wind. The wind is always changing like me, and the stars seem very small and unimportant, but they affect us in ways we don't know.
Luckily, my father realized that a life away from the family was not what he wanted.
So you did go on to write like the wind.
I didn't really think what I was writing was that important. My first book, Hospital Sketches, was just a little thing. A lot of people liked it and wanted more.
And then you wrote something really true about your family. I loved reading Little Women.
I loved my Little Women too.
Amelia, let's hear about you when you were 11.
At 11, I was restless and daring. My sister Muriel is a tomboy just like me. My mother Amy was the first woman to climb Pikes Peak. I like discussing politics with my father. I love playing outdoors and wearing bloomers. I swing in our swing and go as high as I can. I love reading and going out in the rowboat with Grandfather Otis. Sometimes, if you look down into the lake, it's like you're flying in the blue, blue sky. It's 1908, and my sister and dog are so excited because I built a real roller coaster. These barn planks are the track. It is a thing of beauty. Muriel suggests I go first. Okay, Muriel.
Steady, steady.
Okay, Muriel.
Ready on Here I go! Here I go! Woohoo! That's like flying! Amelia!
Nothing to do but redesign and build more track.
Grandfather Otis saw me and told me to stop. See, this is my last winter with my grandparents. My last with their big library, and the way they let me and Muriel run around in bloomers, swing on their swing, and ride in their rowboat. The way they let me be me. See, my father's, well, drinking a lot. And he's not a happy person when he's drinking. He gets angry and then gets fired from his job. But I try to be optimistic and keep moving, moving, moving. I put my sled at the top of the hill.
I'm going to the top of the hill, Muriel.
Ready to race down the icy slope. Muriel's at the bottom.
Ready at the bottom, Amelia.
The slope ends at a road. Look, here comes a horse and wagon. I could stop.
Turn aside, Amelia.
But
I can't look.
I flew right beneath the horse's hooves. Wow.
But I did keep flying, as you know. First woman's transatlantic flight, first solo flight across the Pacific. In 1936, I announced my round-the-world flight, using the equator as my guide. I had a feeling I had one more good flight left in my system. And you said you weren't afraid. No, I wasn't afraid. Okay, promise you won't laugh? Here's a poem I wrote. Oh, never mind. Come on, it's alright. It's okay. Well, I guess I'm a little afraid. You all were such great writers. It's alright. Go ahead. Well, okay, here goes.
Courage is the price that life exacts for granting peace. The soul that knows it not knows no release from little things, knows not the livid loneliness of fear, nor mountain heights where bitter joy can hear the sound of wings.
That was beautiful.
Wonderful.
You shouldn't be embarrassed, Amelia. That was awesome.
Thank you. I think that took more guts than getting into my airplane did.
You ended your life the way you lived it.
Yes, I died living my gift. And you?
My gift was to speak up. And I think probably I did do that before I died.
I was writing. Always writing.
So was I.
I wonder if you were putting your coffin in bloomers or a dress.
Good question. I didn't have much say in it at that point.
Was there anything left undone when we died?
I would have liked to vote just once. In 1848 we began, but we didn't get the vote until 1920.
I think you may have left something undone, Amelia. You didn't make it around the world along the equator. How would you know?
Some of my fame came from the bloomer thingy. I got a lot of love, but a lot of townspeople said stuff against me. Balderdash!
I wonder what the girls of today will be like. Will they want what we wanted?
We are all heroic women. Heroic girls.
I want to be a girl who's free.
I want to wear pants.
I want my art to change the world.
I want my own house, job, and the vote.
I want to be a willow tree, a waterfall. I want to fly.
I want to be a cat with wings.
I am transformation, a deer with butterfly wings.
I'd be water, because water can change the landscape. It can change rocks.
We can change the future.
The sound of wings is music to me. In dreams I fly, what can I be?
Girl, I can fly so high like a deer with wings of a butterfly.
I run like a cat, barely touch the ground. I'm a waterfall.
I'm a crashing sound.
Sometimes I'm mad.
I almost explode.
I'm sure of myself, right?
I don't know.
11 is number 1.
I like to be neat, hate cleaning my room.
That I sleep in the house.
I want to fly on my broom.
11 is number 1.